Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I hope it's clear in your atmosphere. I personally just woke up, so for me, it's good morning. I want to talk about brokenness and the emptiness that some of us feel inside due to rejection from the ones that we love and the ones that we feel should have loved us, but they didn't, either at all or in the ways in which we feel that we should have been loved. When a child doesn't receive a smile from their parents, a hug from their parents, encouragement from their parents, and instead, when they make a mistake, they're always yelled at, chastised, disciplined. And it's like, a you should have known better type of discipline, or, go get the switch or go get the belt, or they get popped on the butt or hand or yelled at like they're an adult that should have known better. When they say up, I want up, or, start throwing those little temper tantrums and you push them away or say, not right now, I'm busy, or whatever it is that you say. When they wanted a toy and you say, go put that back, instead of saying something different to the tune of maybe they didn't earn it. So instead of saying, well, let's finish our chores this week. Let's make sure we do get an A on that test. And then we'll circle back around and see. Or, you don't have the finances to afford that. Well, not this week. But I tell you what, if you do X, Y, and Z, when I put money to the side, I'll make sure that I put something to the side for you to be able to provide you with something special. But we, a lot of times, especially single parents or parents that come from dysfunction and trauma ourselves, we tend to not see that far. We tend to repeat the cycle of discipline and chastisement and communication, whether it be mentally, physically, or spiritually, in the same ways in which we were brought up. Give me 1 second. I got my stove on. I'll be right back. We need to remember that from here on out, we can't change the past, but we need to grow from where we are, not to repeat the cycle with our grandkids if we have already raised our kids in that way or have been raised that way. If we don't have any kids and you plan to have some and you have experienced those types of things, to really take a step back before you have children, if you will, and start to heal ourselves from the inside so that we won't put that shit, because that's exactly what it is, out there in the universe and the atmosphere for our own. And for our own sake, heal ourselves from what we have been through and been traumatized with. When you have a man or a woman that has been through things like that, and much worse, this video is not really going into too much of that deep at this moment, but we will circle back around to these particular subjects because they are by and by part and part. A woman or a man will tend to flock towards nourishing someone else's needs before their own. attracting um, broken people or narcissistic, selfish people, if you will, that are only concerned about themselves and what you can give them. A lot of times they're broken, so it's just like me, 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 me. While the person that wanted that hug, when someone genuinely comes up to hug them, they may push back, hey, yo, you in my personal space. Have one of those types of demeanors, or a man, let's just say, have a woman in their life that actually wants to give them genuine loves, genuine hugs, things of that nature, will take off running and think something's wrong with that person. Why would they love me? Because they don't see why anyone would want to hug them, because the person or the persons in which they felt that they should have got it from in the first place didn't. They didn't. They didn't kiss them on the forehead or kiss them on the cheek or kiss them on the lips. They didn't pick them up and embrace them just because. When they fell off their bike or fell down as a child, instead of going and kissing the boo boo, asking if they're all right and comforting that child, they tell that child, "Get your ass up. This is what I told you. This is what I told you. Stop playing. If you stop playing, sit down. Go sit down somewhere." That is traumatizing. You know, um, and they'll say little things like, "It's time to put your big boy panties on," or big boy pants on, and big girl panties on, and stuff like that. Hell, some of them may even say, "Put your big boy panties on." You got some ridiculous ass people out here that encourage bullshit. Um, you know what I'm talking about. So I said all this to say this: until you actually do the healing work within, you're going to either overcompensate others for what it is you didn't receive, or lack thereof to give others what it is you didn't receive. And they will be overcompensating for you and your hurt and your pain. You have to understand that there are people out here that are genuine, that are kind, that are caring, that are loving. And just because you didn't receive it from the people in which you thought you should have, which you really should have, especially when it comes to your immediate family, your mom, your dad, you know, and then the extension of that, your aunts, your uncles, your grandma, your grandpa, hell, even your cousins, your brothers, your sisters. If you didn't receive that from them, you have to understand that they didn't receive it either. These are generational curses, if you will, or just passed down behaviors and thoughts and patterns that have to be broken in order for us to change. But in order for it to begin to change, it first begins with what Michael Jackson said, the man in the mirror. Only then can you say and begin to start the cycle. You have to start with yourself. When someone wants to love you, if you don't genuinely want to be with that person, tell them. Even go as far as telling them why. Hey, I just don't feel that we flow energetically. Something like that. Don't actually like a person, and because of your trauma and because you're scared to be loved because you loved the wrong people and they've hurt you, or you love the right people and they've hurt you. Right people being, a child is expected to love their parents. But if your parents did not give you the love in which you should have received, it's not that person's fault. So when you receive love from a decent person, because no man is either good nor bad, but decent. There are evil motherfuckers, though. Don't make no mistake about it. But everyone has something. So when you have a decent person giving you what it was that you have always sought from someone else, and they haven't done anything that was over the top. I mean, because a lot of things that you find offensive or whatnot could be actually talked out and worked out in a conversation and understanding. Hey, I don't like how you get when you got more than 3 drinks in you. You're an embarrassment to yourself and hurt and harmful to yourself as well as others. I don't like how you talk to me and how you communicate, and I believe that you need to sit down and really work on that. Hey, I don't like how you get when you're on your last $100, because to you, you've got to be, you're overly macho, or you're overly compensating for the fact that you're not making what you're making, and when the bills are paid, now you treat me like shit because you only got $100, but you told me I could be a stay-at-home wife. You told me this, that, and the third, but don't treat me like, you know, a second class citizen because now you're on $100. If you want to do something, tell me how I could do what I could do to help you. Either educate yourself so you can get a higher paying job, or get a part-time job to assist in the family, etc., etc. Like, you have different reasons why people treat you different ways. And again, we'll circle back around in more detail on different levels on where that goes, and the roots and all that. But just remember, we're all human beings in this world having this experience together. And the only way that we're going to break any cycles of trauma and hurt is first and foremost wanting to, and then taking the steps thereafter to work on that. And that can get dark, and it can be traumatizing because nobody wants to reopen old wounds. But a lot of times, the only thing we really did was put a Band-Aid on them, and we never got to the root of the problem to cure it. Now it's time for change in that area, because you will never have the relationships you're looking for with the people, places, and things in which you believe that you deserve, what you know you deserve, what you were put on this planet to experience in great ways, if we don't start making those changes. It's your girl. Have a great one.